I was browsing Steam the other day when I came across this piece of software called CPUCores, and it caught my attention. It promises to boost your computer's performance in games by freeing up your CPU's resources. I had a look through the reviews and I found them to be very conflicting. Some people were praising the program while others said it just didn't work. So to see who's right, we're going to be looking into how well this program works, and to see if it's actually worth the £15 price tag. I'm going to be testing this program on both my laptop and my main PC. My PC has a GTX 980 Ti and a 4790K overclocked to 4.5 GHz, while my laptop has a 970M and a 6700 HQ. I'll be interested to see if this program can improve performance on an already high-end system such as my PC, but it'll also be interesting to see if it helps to weaken a laptop CPU in any games. I tested a number of games with both CPUCores enabled and disabled to see if it has any impact on the average frames per second. So to start with, we'll take a look at the results from my PC. I would have liked to have tested more games, but I didn't want to exceed the 2-hour refund period on Steam. That alone might give you a clue as to how well this program worked. GTA 5 was one of the first games I tried, and I ran it at both 4K and 1080p to see if the program would improve results when the CPU was the main bottleneck. However, in both cases I found that CPUCores only affected the average FPS by 1, which is still within the margin of error. Next up is Deus Ex: Mankind Divided, which is a very CPU intensive game. I ran the game at 1080p, and again we saw very minimal games when using CPUCores, and they were still within the margin of error. I also saw similar results in Hitman, where the average FPS only went up by a measly 0.43 frames. The next two games I tested were Doom and Minecraft. As these games don't have built-in benchmarks, I had to come up with my own. In Doom, I played up until the end of the first level after the elevator scene.
I'm willing to take full responsibility for the horrible events of the last 24 hours, but you must understand.
And in Minecraft, I built a house out of wood. I duplicated the world to try and keep it as consistent as possible. In Doom, the average FPS was the same, both with and without CPUCores enabled. And in Minecraft, I saw a very unusual result. When CPUCores was enabled, the average FPS actually dropped to 137. I think this may be due to the way I benchmarked the game, so I would just ignore this result. Now let's have a look at the results from my laptop. As I mentioned earlier, it should be interesting to see if this program helps out the weaker CPU in any games. So in GTA 5 at 1080p we actually saw the FPS decrease by 1 when CPUCores was enabled, and in Doom the FPS increased by 1 when CPUCores was enabled. Conclusion time then. I didn't see any major differences in performance while I was testing CPUCores, so I think it's safe to say that you shouldn't buy it if you already have a high-end system or even a mid-range system. However, this program may show more impressive results on a low-end system or one that's clogged up with junk, as in these cases having even just a little bit of extra CPU power can go a long way. While I certainly can't recommend the program based on the results seen today, I'm not going to ignore the thousands of positive reviews on Steam. If you think this program could be beneficial to you, then I'd say go for it, as you can always get a refund if it doesn't work out. Just remember to keep an eye on the time. Thanks for watching.